First of all, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good, that's great.
I'm good. Everyone in the family is good. So that's the most important also, with a lot of health and optimistic because it's my nature. So
Oh,
I'm very
yeah.
good. And you, Indra?
Yeah, I'm good too. And it's exciting to discover you. I'm sorry that I'm not aware of your work until now. I feel very I've missed out on something because there's so few people who are really constantly positive, and able to see what's coming and be able to be, properly engaged, but be
Yes.
able to see what's positive. It's rare. So you are a real treasure to
Thank
find.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
can we just start at the beginning because the people who'll be listening to our interview won't know
Sure.
enough about your work. Some of them will because we do have a bit of an international audience, but
Mhm.
certainly in the UK, we haven't yet had a chance to connect with it. So, if you could describe for those who don't know, maybe introduce yourself, and
Mhm.
then the question for me is, uh, when you began your work at Change It, um, what was your intention? What did you think was missing from this world of change that
Mhm.
you could bring?
Okay. First of all, thank you so much, Indra, and your project for having me and interviewing me. It's a pleasure and an honor to reach out to more people, and I feel myself like a citizen and a person of the world. So for me, it's so important to take the message that I feel more far. My name is Ana Rita Clara. And since I'm very young, I have this idea of really making the difference, or instead of it, adding to it, I have a sense of calling or a sense of being the best version that I can be. And I know that this sounds like a cliche, but I really have felt with all the experiences that I have been living that I have been being prepared for something. I feel that I'm not the only one. We are all God inside of us. We all have it. I just feel that sometimes people need more time to be really connected to whom they are. So I started very early in making a long story short.
Mhm.
I started very, very early with 13, 14, whatever in with 4 years, the age of my son, I started already in the kitchen, talking in television. So I think it was natural, the communication. I never thought of television, but communicating with other people,
Mm.
that was natural. But I started working very early at 13, and for me that normality of not having the teenage normal of life was very good. Instead of looking back and feeling that I missed something, no, I felt that it was the natural path for me because I wanted so much to live and to learn and to have experience that at 17 I was already traveling and working in Macau or China or Hong Kong. So I felt that the world was good to know, and I felt like a citizen of the world because I
Mm.
come from a small town near Oporto in the north of Portugal.
Mm.
So I wanted to really start doing something that provoked people or in a good way. And television, I study sociology because I'm fascinated about people and about stories of people's lives and the way they are and the way we are. So I'm very profoundly always in touch with my personal development and always studying that. But I started at 19 in television because I was really fascinated not with the glam of the little box, but with the possibility of reaching out to so many people
Mm.
so fast. And the universe and maybe my talent also helped me with that. And I started at that age and never stopped. Besides that, I really felt that with my talk show, I was learning so much and connecting more and more with the persons that I interviewed, that I felt also suffocated inside of a studio.
Mm.
So for me, it was little. So I needed. I have had always a lot of projects at the same time because I'm very. It's like a pulvo. How do you say? You know, the tentacles. I
Yeah.
have
Octopus. Yeah.
that exactly.
Yeah.
I have the digital. I started with a blog. Now I have my own online platform, anaritaclara.pt, where I have my own TV online shows. Then I have the brands. Then I have the other part. And then I started to feel that it was little or it wasn't enough. So in 2014, I got off the studio, the little box, as I
Hmm.
call it,
Mm.
and I wanted to touch people. So I started the movement that called Change It, because I really felt, when I looked to the side to my friends and to the family, we were passing the crisis of Portugal in 2014, and everyone was disbelieving in everything. And I started hearing my friends talking about politics, and so depressive and so not believing in anything, stop losing the passion of life. And for me, it was it. So for me, it
Mm.
was, no, we have to change it.
Mm.
So normal, the words, it was so normal, the words. I could see the logo, I could see the experience. So I started that with no money, all for free, with my special friends who are known people here in Portugal. And I wanted to put the finger in the wound,
Mm.
so when I started that, it was a real success. It was full house all the time, and I had all the celebrities and with me, like a talk show, not being a talk show,
Mm.
but being filmed already, because I'm also thinking always in the big picture. But then I started, and I got the nonsense, the known, that I have the ability, besides of communicating, that I was so happy making the bridge between people's minds and perspectives,
Mm.
beyond status, beyond beyond glamours, beyond levels of money. We are all people.
Mm.
So one of my first very important things that I have in Change It is, we don't have a stage, because no one is in the other level to the other.
Oh.
It's kind of a visual perspective, but it truly changes the
Yeah.
world.
Tell me a bit more about that.
Yeah,
So,
'cause it's so
yeah.
it's also an experience, very very natural and very important. So
Mm.
I started to change it in 2014 besides the other project, and it was really the start of a big project that it's now an organization.
Mm. So when you said that, I just want to understand a little bit more what your insight was there. That you say that we all feel as if we're on different levels, but actually we're on one level. Is that what you're trying to describe?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and when I when I created the movement, because it started with an idea of change it.
Mm.
Everyone can change their lives. We are changing, because change, it's biological, of course. But I wanted to take it to the next level, where you truly can be inspired, but make the changes that you were never capable of doing. So it started with that idea of going back to the roots of believing in yourself. So we all had I created a different theme in
Mm.
every talk, and it started like that. So now we are going for more than 500 changers. We have been all over the country, and also web summits, going into the companies, interviewing all kinds of changers, because everyone for me can be a changer, going from CNN to local companies,
Mm.
or the startups, or the young people, or that are making the difference, or the activism, pure, or the artists that also build our culture. So it started with that.
Right. And it sounds to me as if you have a really natural ability to see the whole picture without feeling that everything is separate from everything. So the idea that, the problems of our world, most people are overwhelmed very easily, aren't they, by the problems that they see like particularly in the newspapers, you're hearing mostly from a problem perspective. How do you feel that that um, yourself, that you're able to help people to face the things that they feel that they can't, they're too powerless to change them? What is your experience of that?
I think we have truly a path to do personally, each one of us, because we are the fruit of our beliefs, and our beliefs come from the environment that we had, some personal experience, or even our imagination. But the human being is always fighting for to get away from the pain or to get the pleasure. These are the two points of the balance. I just think that a lot of people needs a lot of time of their life to realize that, or even doesn't realize that, and just go with the flow in life. I just feel that I have felt since I'm very small that there is a magical part in life where, and my son is a proof of that also, because I never thought about being a mom, and now, it's my life.
Yeah.
So there's parts of life that it's life it's life in the universe. You have got to let it go also,
Mm,
but you need to control your life. You need to take responsibility for who you are, for your own decisions. So I think that's very important for people, and especially in this year and the other years that are coming, to realize that we were this happened for a reason, for us to be more connected,
mm,
for us to evolve. Because Indra, I truly believe, since I'm very small, that we are not only we are not only what you see. We are made of so much. It's magical when people connect. I have seen things in my life, like people crying because they are hearing the words that they need to hear, just to give them strength. But why don't they have that strength inside of them? You can build that. And you don't need to go to psychologists to do that. Just a matter of inner power. So I'm very into that. I'm not a priest. I'm not, I'm not here for that. I'm no, a human being, just trying to take off the shells, of people minds and souls. And I see that with my friends and my family, etc., and myself, and cleaning up, so that we can reorganize ourselves every day and be grateful. I don't think people are grateful for what they have, and I don't think they truly give value or appreciate or put it into use for their creativity.
yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah. I mean,
my,
I can.
my
I
so
mean, I'm so enjoying listening to you because everything to me makes sense. And um, the, the the interesting thing, or the where the questions come from, for me, is how what appears and feels so natural, how little of it there really seems to be in the public space, right? So I'm going to invite you to talk. I think you mentioned just now a little bit about this past year and how this COVID crisis that the whole world has been experiencing has had. I think you've already touched on that it has had some very good effects in that it's brought people closer to each other. I find it amazing to be sitting so close to you, yet
yeah,
you're so far away, and be able to feel the power of your life force so directly. This is an amazing thing
it's
to me,
amazing. Yeah,
right? Isn't it?
yeah.
So, but now if we try to go back to the world we were in before COVID and think about the problems that were presenting themselves to us. Okay, so for example, the environmental crisis. We saw Greta Thunberg and we saw Extinction Rebellion doing a very important job of raising this to the surface. Tell me how you're feeling about this.
Well, Andrea, I'm ambassador of of Greenpeace. I have my own causes also in Change It, because Change It is a movement and project that also divides itself in different themes and areas. It's also connected with ONU and the 17 Sustainable Goals. So we are very into that matter also. And for me, I'm also a very environmental activist, and I put the word sustainability in my life a long time ago.
Mm,
And I also have that kind of that lifestyle in my life, the way
mm,
I eat, the way I live, the way I see the world. So I just feel a lot of things in that theme, that we have to have nonsense. We have to know that COVID was a lesson of humility, to be humble, you know.
mm,
So we all took this lesson for something that we already knew. We knew this is going to happen.
mm,
But if we didn't have this lesson from the nature, we wouldn't stop.
mm,
Wouldn't stop. You can call it, you can say that it's the realistically speaking, this would happen anyway. But we can also see that it didn't choose status, it didn't choose age, it didn't choose your wallet, it didn't choose your mind or intelligence. It touches everyone.
mm.
So for humanity, beyond the climate change issue, I think the COVID-19 puts us further than that, made us see not only the planet, but the humankind, the human being. I think it was more. I think it's more profound than that,
Mm,
because the climate, we have been working in that issue personally and all over the world, with so many celebrities all over the world making the difference. Greta, of course, she's a one of a kind. As personally, we are trying to do our best with our movements and projects, and taking it to media, like I do in my show, and going to the streets talking about it. But it's little for so many big bad things that are happening.
mm.
So I truly believe that beyond climate change, we have to fight for the change of mankind, because it is the man that does the act.
Mm.
Okay, so I think we should continue the work that we are doing, of course, and making the rules now for sustainable cities, sustainable jobs, sustainable kinds of lives, sustainable companies. And I had classes. I'm always in continuous formation, and the last one was about sustainability. So incredible! I'm truly curious for the world. Prosperity,
Mm,
better business makes the greater world, greater good.
mm.
Uh, so we can't, I think it's all it's like a circle, Indra. You can't only put climate, because we have so many things and issues and things to work on. The
Yeah,
place of women, the children, yes.
yeah.
So we have a lot of things to change. The way politics are, our education system, that has to evolve to be in the same level as technology.
Yes,
I
exactly.
think, and it's something that I'm really fascinated about. It's the new trends, and most of all, since I have a young kid with 4 years, I'm always thinking about this school system, that it's not appropriate for what it's happening and coming.
Yes.
I think COVID gave us a slap in the face,
Mm,
make it hurt very much, but also made us grow a lot. For me, has been a lifetime experience,
mm.
and it truly threw us 10 years ahead in technology and development.
Didn't it? It's
Yeah,
incredible. Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
agree with that.
fascinating.
Yeah, yeah.
So well, we are ahead of time.
Yeah, yeah. Suddenly we're moving very, very, very fast. So I'd like just to hear a little bit more about your movement. Who's in your movement, do you think?
All the people that are really inspired by others and really want to make a difference and want to feel that they are alive and that they have a purpose.
Yeah,
So it's for everyone.
yeah,
The people that I have goes from 17 to 80.
right. And do you feel, is your experience of your movement, the people that you are experiencing, can you sense this? Yeah, what is the feeling of it? Do you sense this positive that that I can hear from you? Do you feel this is a growing positive around you, or is it difficult still? Is it still mostly bridge building that you're doing and that you're trying to inspire a positive feeling, or do you feel it's coming now? How does it feel to you?
Indra, I don't do it on purpose. I'm not, when I'm naturally optimistic. I
Mm,
also have my moments, of course, but I'm naturally optimistic, and but I understand that the other people. That's
mm,
very important for me. The tolerance, of course, the acceptation, of course, and we can't force people to change. I always say that change is something that comes from within,
mm,
because it really has to be a belief that you transform inside of you. So what I have seen in my experience, we are now with more than 10,000 people. We have all kinds of people, all kinds of creative encounters,
mm,
and all kinds of needs and all kinds of lives and all kinds of purpose. You can go for networking, but you can also go to make friends, but you can also go to hear that person that you are so inspired by, you
mm,
know. So you always take something with you. What you do with it, the way you change yourself with it,
mm,
that's your decision. So
mm.
what I do, I try to give my best, be always the best version, have the right walls, have no walls, but also have the walls that protect me from that noise, from
Yes.
that gray area,
Yeah.
because it's not what I believe, and I soon, also because of the media area and the way the place where I work, the area, it has a lot of competition and a lot of issues. So I started very early to understand that you need to really have your own bubble. It's a good bubble. It's a bubble of energy. It's a bubble where you decide who gets in and who gets close and who
Mm,
you connect, and it's so natural. Don't have to put bridges and a lot of walls in it. It's a natural thing. So I pass my energy. I'm past my optimistic. I'm also very at the same time very realistic, because I always tell people that you're not going to leave your job because you wanna live by writing, but you don't have a plan B. That's not being brave. That's not having a strategy. And if it doesn't work out, you will be happy during the process, but at the end you will blame yourself or me.
mhm.
So you have to have also the intelligence of knowing that your dream is possible of conquering, but you have to have steps to go there. you
Right,
know
right.
even Cinderella left the shoe. Otherwise,
Exactly.
otherwise the prince wouldn't go. Well, that isn't it's that curious, Cinderella.
Yeah.
It's Cinderella. Otherwise, the boy wouldn't go to meet her. You have to have
Exactly.
strategy.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. So can I draw you on one topic, because that's the topic uh of our platform, which is the new politics,
Mhm,
right? So say whatever you like, but I'd like to have you like just think a little bit about the politics of the current time and maybe what a new politics could be in
mhm,
your view. Do you sense something that is possible for a different kind of politics that
mhm.
would lead us into a more healthier future?
Yes, I have a lot of ideas.
Mm. Yeah, I'd love
I
to hear
will
them.
talk with you a few. I really feel I'm not a very political woman, because I'm more practical.
Mm,
And I think that's one thing that I would like to take to politics,
mm,
for politics to be more human than politics. First of all, I think that there should be a kind of graduation and formation for what a politic needs to be.
mm,
Because there's a formation, a human formation, that goes beyond. you're being in a parted or not being, you know. That's
mm,
the, it's like you're being prepared for a mission that is to defend, to hear your people, to really understand what is the responsibility of your place in your job. So I
mm,
really feel that that part is missing.
mm,
I really feel also that the education and the younger are completely unattached to what it is politics, and I think it should start earlier. The demonstration that we have all a very big paper in part in our country.
mm,
That's because of that we grow knowing that the government and the decisions that are made are also our responsibility,
mm,
and that doesn't happen. You go to vote here in Portugal at 18,
mm.
you don't know what you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have information? Do you know the program of the parties? Do you know what they stand for?
Mm,
So that belief in everyone having like an honor code, a personal honor code, and then knowing what it is, the movement, the party that they feel are the most important for the country. I think that it's very important. Besides that, I really think that because of corruption and the way they see themselves, I really think that we should have a world with more money, where people with a lot of responsibility live well and live, don't have the anger, the don't have the temptation of looking for something different. You know,
mm,
I think that's very important in places like Brazil, that we see a lot of corruption. So it's all, the system is corrupted since the beginning.
mm.
Uh, I think, and so many other things. These are some ideas, and also in the women in politics, of course. I don't think, I just think that maybe women are more practical sometimes, and really don't have the patience of being talking around and having meetings, long meetings about aspects that then don't have the practical way. Maybe that's one of the, the issues, because women run from politics, or the ones that are there are truly good
Mm.
and truly amazing. But I really think that we should evoke in the society that idea of responsibility, you know. And with COVID, I think we also learned with that the responsibility of our lives and the lives of others.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know what happened in Portugal over this last year, but certainly in the UK, there was a lot of evidence that the ordinary citizens took responsibility for each other
Yes,
in ways that made them very critical of the
yes,
way the government was failing to do it properly.
yes, with
You
more
know,
intention now in
yeah,
front.
yeah. And so what we're seeing is the possibility of a different center of politics, really,
Yes, yes, to,
a more human-centered politics,
yes,
which might give rise to something very different, actually, than this current party political
yes,
design that was designed when in the time when only men were in the public space. You know,
sure.
there's a possibility now that something quite new will be designed, coming from what you're describing as people finding their responsibility and their capability,
Yes,
actually.
to
Yeah,
be heard.
yeah.
They have to be heard because they vote.
Mm,
They are the people. We are the country. So maybe in that new redesign, I don't know if the politics are going to be very happy with that, but
mm,
doesn't matter, because change is also like this. But yes, I truly believe in a different system where the citizens have a place.
yeah,
You don't have to have a president in that system. Everyone is the president of their lives.
exactly.
But
What is the shape of that thing? That's what we're trying to discover in the alternative. What is the shape of that thing where everybody can feel their own agency, their own, they can feel involved all the time and they can feel relevant.
mhm.
Yeah.
I think maybe just give it just a suggestion, like they do here in our local chambers.
Mm,
I think it's like that. So weekly, the local câmaras municipais, municipal chambers,
mm,
they hear the voice of the citizens. So the citizens go there and they speak and they take note of the things.
mm,
Can be very simple things like something in the street or something very difficult and hard. So
mm,
they are heard.
mm.
They are heard. You have the space to have a voice. I think in a global way, or in a national way, we could create a different part in the system where you mentally go and have the opportunity with other citizens
Mm.
doing a petition or something like that, because now it's becoming very usual here, a lot of petitions now where it's about the restaurants. Yesterday it was about the thing, so it's becoming commune. And I really think this is going to be a very natural thing, and that the parties and the president and the government really will take in consideration, because they also know that they are depending on that. But now more than ever, you have to really do what it is best for the people.
Yeah, and
Nobody's going to grow up for that,
yeah, 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 for sure.
You
And
have to give results. You have to give the results, otherwise you'll go out. You
yeah, well, that's my question, and that's the question we're gonna keep asking next year, because in our experience, there is there's nowhere really good for the people's power to grow. And at some point the government can say no, or they can ignore what you're saying, or they can change what you're saying. They have a different kind of power. So we're at the moment we're incubating a space where people can hear their own voices, but also be the answer to their own question.
yeah.
So their creativity and so on becomes part of the question. How would you answer this question? And then why don't we try ourselves to do some of this? And then we can show government,
Hmm.
how to do it better. So this partnership is growing between the people's voice and the government, which is like a new kind of dynamic that is growing in the system. But anyway, it's good. It's good to hear the energy and the power that you're bringing into that space, and we'll be linking to that more. So, in this year ahead, having had this extraordinary year, what do you see for this year ahead? Do you see? And I want to ask you two questions. One is, what do you think is the most difficult thing you'll be challenging, and the second thing is, what is possible?
Being optimistic, Andrew, for me, everything is possible.
Yeah.
And if we have passed all that we have passed, I think the sun will always shine. Maybe I'm being very romantic, of course, but I really feel that it can't rain all the time.
Mm,
It won't. And we'll continue to have rainy days. But in 2021, I have a lot of things going on. For me, it's going to be a very special year also, Indra, because I'm going to present in television a project that it is very close to my heart, my mind, and because I have my own company. And so I'll be presenting something that is very actual, profound, and it's really a personal realization. You understand? It's
hmm
going to be very special for me to get that kind of success, to put that thing in the air to everyone to see, because it's very personal to my heart, and it
mm,
has to do with 2020. In the professional area, I think we're going to continue to have challenges, but we will have so many opportunities, because I can feel them grow.
mm,
I know that in tourism, restaurants, culture, it continues to be a challenge, of course, but the digital has grow so much. So I feel that 2021 is going to be, it can only go better, and it truly will be amazing to see the prosperity in so many areas in the cities, the way people communicate, the digital information technology, the way people move, the way they buy, what they buy, the
Mm,
sustainability, the way they treat themselves better, see the transformation in the companies, in the what the layoffs really did to companies, and how this is going to be a global change. So it's going to be very interesting, and I feel very grateful to be experienced this historic moment.
mm,
So I think about that, and hopefully we have the vaccine, because health is in the first place, of course, and
mm,
let's move from COVID. But there's also a transformation that came with it, that we need now to digest and retransform the world. So I'm very enthusiastic with that. It's like
mm.
it's like I can see the cars flying already. And they exist already, Indra.
Yeah.
I was presenting a digital event. It's amazing the way we are talking now. I have a lot of events digital, and there are already cars that fly, so anything is possible.
Are they flying on solar power?
They don't do long distances, but the Google has already, so it's amazing.
Right. And so you're excited by this technological future. How do you feel about on the ground and the relationships between people who still are not really part of this technology revolution? There are many. Do you feel that's also improving? These one-to-one relationships with people? Or do you feel everything depends now on the technology?
I think we are going that way.
Mm,
I think that we are going that way, either we want it or not.
mm,
My parents love technology, but they don't. They can't deal with it. They feel very sorry about it. So I put them in the senior college so they could learn, because they are also curious.
mm.
So what I think is, you have to adapt and follow. My son already was born in technology,
Yeah,
native, yeah.
yeah.
For me, I'm so passionate by it that will be natural for me to be evolving and information for it. Okay,
Mm,
but I think that we can't be frightened by technology.
mm,
I We have to see it first. We need to see it as an alliance, our best friend, our partner, because
mm,
no human being will ever be replaced, Indra.
mm,
No machine can ever feel what we feel. I
mm,
just think um, it will evolve for new jobs, for new careers, for new time for ourselves. So we will always be in another level. But yes, for the people that are not um, uh, keeping up with the evolution of technology will be very hard.
mm,
I hope also that they follow, that they find schools, information, that the government also thinks about that. We have here already in Lisbon, in Portugal, it's like the Code Academy, where you go to learn programmation.
mm, mm,
So we have it all.
mm.
So we need to take off the fear
Yeah.
first. I think people have fear. Take off the fear, and put the grace, put the optimistic, put the joy of having so much more quality in life.
Mm. This is a good point to finish. I've taken more time than I said that I would, but I'm really very
Sorry,
grateful.
it was a pleasure. It was a
Yeah,
pleasure, Indra.
fantastic
Thank
to
you
connect
so
with you.
much.
And I hope to connect with you again in the coming year.